of the coolest feelings that a human can experience is like to feel so small in a world that's so big.
Moving over the mountain unencumbered is about as close as you're going to come as a climber to sprouting wings and being totally free. Absolutely awake, absolutely alive, receiving any kind of impulse that's coming in and reacting to it almost instinctually. It's a great dance.
Mark is doing things that people thought could never be done. He's redefining what's possible.
He's different than any climber we've ever dealt with. Mark just kind of follows his own path. He's a free spirit.
At one point, I was climbing in South America. We could see this tiny, tiny speck on this 4,000-foot wall. We could look over and be like, that is Marc Andre by himself on this freaking journey to the God.
It wouldn't be a solo to me if somebody was there.
Oh, this kid's, a really special breed.
It's just a completely different experience if somebody comes with you. Yeah, even if they don't help you. I just wouldn't be even remotely close to the adventure that I was looking for. I had this really awesome experience.
I'm thinking about you, and I want you to take time for yourself, slow down, and find moments that belong only to you, and may your spirit savor them.
standard of alpinism is the on-site solo. The climber approaches a mountain without any prior knowledge and just climbs it. But it's only for the very best climbers on their very best days. You know, it's such a deadly game.
Hanging out with her reminded me of like what I'd lost, what it was like to be spirited.
Mark is interested in intense experiences, in living to the fullest. Drugs can provide some version of that, but it's not genuine. And I think he recognized that climbing is just the real experience.
Thanks, Brad.
So cool.
I know, isn't it beautiful? Just jeans, running shoes, a few granola bars in the pocket. Always off trail, never had a rope or anything.
Going on the front, and that's it. That's to help you fly. Yeah.
He's in is such a special, finite place and such an incredibly risky place.
I find it a little bit scary. I just hope he's careful.
He's really comfortable in mountainous terrain. Sometimes I wonder if he's just almost too comfortable.
One could say that, well, it's crazy and irresponsible to place yourself in that kind of danger for what? Kicks, glory.
I think that free soloing is a very emotionally charged subject, and so it draws strong reactions from everybody. If you fall and die, everybody thinks you're an idiot, you're a risk taker, you're a daredevil, like, what an idiot. If you succeed, then everybody celebrates you as a big hero. But the reality is you're the same person either way.
The mountains are alive all around you, and you're kind of at their mercy. People are always freaking out about soloing, like, oh, it's such an unacceptable risk. People shouldn't be doing this, you know, like, what kind of example does this set? I mean, I know it's dangerous. I'm not, like, deluding myself that it's not dangerous to go soloing. I probably just have a different view of everything, I guess, you know, like, to me, it's not really an unacceptable risk. And, you know, I'm still so young. It's like there's so many things I want to do.
I've really had to think about it within our own lives because we do put ourselves in situations that anything could happen. Like an avalanche could just take you out randomly. The more time you put yourself in that situation, the more likely it's going to happen. And yeah, sometimes it's concerning the amount of soloing he wants to do. He has like an insatiable desire to do more at an extreme level. I worry for him, of course.
Hanging out with the locals, and they're like making you part of the family. Yeah, it's actually like a big part of the whole experience.
Sí, sin zapatos es dificilísimo.
Conozco muchos de los mejores escaladores del mundo. Mark es un ser realmente único.
Undeniable that every time you go to the mountains, it could be your last time. So, all these things that you love, you have to appreciate. Yes, you're going to the mountains. Yeah.
Many things can happen. You can fall. The storm can take me away. We know that we could die up there. But still, we go there. We try to make real our dreams. Our visions. to make real our dreams, our visions.
When you encounter a situation where you're like, okay, this is real. I can either keep it together and do this, or I can like fall apart and have a meltdown. You gotta do one or the other. And that process of evaluating the situation and then getting it together and carrying on, it's a challenge every time. Every time you go to the mountains, it could be your last time. So all these things that you love, you have to appreciate. Persevering, things are working out. Quite the view.
Let you know that when I'm out here in these mountains by myself, I really miss you. And I'm thinking about you a lot. And there's a part of me that wishes I could just quickly raft to the ground and get out of here and change my flights, come back and see you, because I'd love to see you. I love you.
I've always dreamed of trying to solo Eiger, and I always said that, you know, if you got caught in bad weather near the top of Eiger by yourself, that's the ultimate nightmare. And it actually happened to me, and I made it down just fine, so that's sort of cool, I guess. You know, it's almost like my whole life leading me to a certain place.
Nice work, dude.
Yo. How's it going, dude?
How you feel?
Dude, yeah, things are awesome.
When Mark had some sort of extreme experience that had moved him deeper than anything else could have.
When you're in the mountains with a mission, it's like all of the superficialities of life just sort of evaporate, and you can often find yourself in a deeper state of mind, and that can stick with you for a while after a big climb. You appreciate everything so much that you take for granted most of the time. It's kind of funny. The actual achievement doesn't really change your life like you think it might when you're building up to it. But what you're left with is the journey that got you to that point. And if you have this big journey where you had to figure a lot of stuff out, you had to plan and it was more immersive, and then you were somewhere really beautiful for a long time and then had to work really hard and overcome some kind of mental barrier, you're left with so much more of a story or like a memory and an experience. And that's what I find is the most important.
With all the new snow, conditions were too dangerous to land there. But they spotted a rope. It was covered in avalanche debris. And it was clear that Mark and Ryan were buried there. There was no chance of survival.
Blissful, magical life, and then it's like you're hit with this shockwave of pain and you'll never be the same. After he died, I just didn't care about anything. Nothing mattered. Maybe I would just disappear also. This conversation that I had with Mark. Mark said that if something happened to him, he wants me to keep going. He didn't want me to lose my spirit. He just wanted me to keep climbing, keep loving life, and be happy. Yeah. You have no idea how hard it is. In theory, you can say it, but to actually be living that, I went back to Alaska. It's so beautiful there, but like being there without him felt so awful.
In some indefinable way, you've moved to another place, and you have to learn how to live there. You and I
he's one of a kind. He's an individual. He just burnt very bright, you know, and he left an indelible mark on a lot of people in a short time, didn't he?
As any parent knows, raising children is a tough job, but I am thankful that at least God granted me the grace to understand this about my son, to not stand in the way of his passion for the mountains. Of course I worried. What mother doesn't worry about the children she's raised to leave her and go out into this beautiful but dangerous and broken world?
It's so exposed. Ah.
I believe Marc-Andre lived the life he was intended to live. That he was meant to scale mountains, stand on summits, find his way into lonely valleys,
Super happy.
and love one woman with all his heart, his little bee.
How are you, Brett?
Pretty chilly.
Tolkien in The Hobbit says there are no safe paths in this part of the world. You're over the edge of the wild now.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Well, Marc-Andre, you are truly over the edge of the wild now.
The storm came in with a strong north wind,
I hope the mountains there are amazing and the sunsets are beautiful.
and then it cleared for a bit as the eye of the storm passed over us, and then it...
We're all richer for calling you son, brother, partner, and friend. Thank you for giving us 25 remarkable years.
Take it slow, drop me in low. Can we stop running solo? You and I in the starlight. Let's just stop, watch the embers glow.
What Mark did with his time on Earth was beautiful. He followed the course of his own dreams.
A lot of us live our lives thinking of the things we'd like to do or the adventures we'd like to have, but we hold back. I think that's what really stands out to me about Marc-Andre's journey. It's about what is it that you would do if you were able to overcome, you know, the things that you see as limitations or the things that you're afraid of. You know, what would you do?
just jeans, running shoes, a few granola bars in the pocket. Always off trail, never had a rope or anything.
At one point, I was climbing in South America. We could see this tiny, tiny speck on this 4,000-foot wall. We could look over and be like, that is Marc Andre by himself on this freaking journey to the gods.
When Mark comes out of the mountains, he has this like radiating energy. He's had some sort of extreme experience that had moved him deeper than anything else could have.
When you're in the mountains with a mission, it's like all of the superficialities of life just sort of evaporate.
This kid's, a really special breed.
Every time you go to the mountains, it could be your last time. So, all these things that you love, you have to appreciate.
We try to make real our dreams,
Hey Marco, how is it down there?
our visions.
Great! Mark just kind of follows his own path. He's a free spirit.
You can often find yourself in a deeper state of mind, and that can stick with you for a while after a big climb. You appreciate everything so much that you take for granted most of the time. And that's what I find is the most important. I mean, I probably just have a different view of everything, I guess. Being by yourself out there, immersed in your environment, tuning in to the rustle of the leaves, the sound of the wind across the ridge, the aura that the mountain has. One of the coolest feelings that a human can experience is like to feel so small in a world that's so big.
Moving over the mountain unencumbered is about as close as you're going to come as a climber to sprouting wings and being totally free. Absolutely awake, absolutely alive, receiving any kind of impulse that's coming in and reacting to it almost instinctually. It's a great dance.
really awesome experience. was a really awesome experience. You can often find yourself in a deeper state of mind, and that can stick with you for a while after a big climb. You appreciate everything so much that you take for granted most of the time. And that's what I find is the most important.